Hey, how's it going? Hey, happy Saturday. How's everyone doing? Happy Saturday. What are you guys working on? So you noticed in the title might have been messed up when I started the stream, but last weekend I actually streamed on Sunday because of a bunch of problems I had with my home network and Unify devices, and so I ended up doing the stream on Sunday. But today the stream is on Saturday. Today's Saturday. I think it's Saturday, last time I checked. But how's everyone doing? Happy Saturday. What can I help with? What are you guys working on? It's a question I asked every Saturday. I'd love to know what you guys are working on. I get super inspired by you guys, the community, what you're working on, problems you're having, new ways to solve problems, or if you're just generally stuck on something, I'd like to hear those too. So yeah, let me know. Throw it in chat. Let me know what you're thinking about, or what you're working on, or what you plan on doing, or hardware you purchased. Those are always fun to talk about too. Heads up, I say this every Saturday, but I do have a hard stop around 4, but 4 Central Time. So roughly an hour, but I gotta stick to it today. The last couple times I said that, I've gone way over, but I do have to stick to it. So yeah, what are you guys working on? Happy Saturday. So real quick, I'll go weather. Weather's good. Weather is great in the Midwest, at least here in Minneapolis. It's super nice here. It's a little bit cooler. I actually used my heat. I turned my heat on for the first time since this season. Thursday, I think, just to test it out. That's what I told everyone. I was just testing it out. But really, I was testing it out. I always test my heat because we have boiler systems. I always test it ahead of time so that when I really need it, if something goes wrong, I can get it repaired ahead of time. Anyways, I don't know. It's just me testing. I usually don't test in production with my heat because it gets cold here fast. One day it's 50, 60 like it is now. Next day it's 20 or 10 or negative 20 and then back to 74. So it's all over the place. So real quick before we get started, just looking at the long list of events. Thank you so much. I'll call these out. Some of these were right before the stream, but I'll go down the line. I'll look for the one that's up there. I'm going to go with the one I see down here. And Glorious Bastard, hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. The Logig, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Jaw31, It's Me, Katu, Rise Mike, B2, that one's hard to say. BW, something, User Max, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Hey, thank you for the sub. I'll get to that in 1 second. Thank you so much. And then it looks like Pizzazz, Pizza Luke, I like it. Mork Kalai, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome. And then sub, so Mavney, resub, tier 1, 12 months, 12-month streak. Mavney, thank you so much. 1 year. 1 year today. Thank you so much for your continued support and for always being in the channel. Usually always first. I think you were today too, but I'll check here in a second. Jorson, hey, thanks for the cheer. 200 bits. Thank you so much. And thanks for the follow. The PSI, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. And, Skivian. I'm going to go with Skivian. If it's pronounced a different way, let me know. But thank you so much for the sub. Tier 1 sub on Twitch. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So yeah, like I was saying, let me know what you guys are working on. I've been working on a whole bunch of random things. Things will start coming together. Maybe they'll make sense. I don't know if they will. A couple of weeks ago, you heard me talking about my new data center, the old grow room. I'll call it the old grow room because it's not a grow room anymore. Not that it ever was before, but it's fun to joke about that. The old grow room is now the new server room. So this morning, I was going and managing a whole bunch of cables. I feel like the cable management never ends because I arranged them a certain way, moved a couple things, and I keep moving them. I use zip ties for a few things. I'm generally against zip ties just because they're kind of permanent and they're kind of a pain in the butt to switch around. I mean, there's no switching around. You cut them off. So anyways, this morning I was just going around managing cables, preparing for a couple more things. But I think it's pretty awesome. I'm going to share it with you guys soon. But besides that, what else have I worked? You don't see that, but that's a new logo on my Pi LED. So that's my server room temperature right now. So the ambient temperature in my server room, you can't see that because it's out of focus, is 74.1 degrees. So wired up some new stuff to there too. I have a temperature gauge in there. I can do a lot of things based on the ambient temperature in the room, which is pretty cool. One of which is opposed to my Raspberry Pi, and then I have different colors based on the temperature. I've set a certain threshold. I think, I don't know, 70, 80, 90, something like that. Not 90, a little closer on the high end of 80s. Just to let me know what the temperature's like. And I log it somewhere else too, which you'll see. So yeah, let me know what you guys are working on. Jorson, thank you. 300 bits, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, let me know what you guys are working on, what I can help with. Like I said, I'm gonna, it's not gonna be super short, but I do have to hold to a schedule today. So let's see. Oh, Hype Train. Thank you guys so much. What button do I press on Twitch? What's the button to like get out of the way? Get out of the way. Oh my gosh. This? Come on, Twitch, really? All right. So I'm just gonna say that I cannot see under this thing. For who knows what reason, Twitch thinks that this is a good idea. Let me move it. Can I move this thing? Oh, Hype Train is close. Okay. Anyways, there's probably stuff going on under here, so I apologize. I can't tell you who was first because this thing is in the way. Whose idea at Twitch was this? Yeah. Okay. So anyways, I'm sorry. I'm just clicking everything I see. Can't get it out of the way, so I apologize. Whoever was first, it was, I'm taking bets. It was either PC Geek or Mafney. Maybe PC Geek can scroll back and see the history. Maybe this isn't in the way of his mod screen. Anyways, thank you for being here in the channel. I really appreciate it. Mafney, that was the sub. Thank you so much. HomeLab New, how's it going, man? Good to see you. I'm betting, so HomeLab New is usually in the UK, but a lot of times in the US. I'm betting it's UK this weekend. We'll see. PC Geek stream title, yeah. I hit go live and then I adjust title later because it's generally the same, not this time. So I fixed it afterwards, so my notifications went out with Sunday. Who knows? Maybe it'll pique someone's interest and say, then tell that guy it's not Sunday. Hey, included Noel, how's it going? Resub, tier 1, 6 months. My prime for you. Thank you so much. Appreciate the sub. Included Noel, how are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope things are well. Captain Tidbit, Tim, how's it going? Sigor, hey, how's it going? Alec, oh man, I gotta get this right. I'm gonna go with Alessing. No, I can't pronounce that. Hello from Connecticut, USA. Thank you so much. That's how I learned how to spell Connecticut. I can't even say it now because of how I used to remember how to spell it. Connecticut. How are you? Thank you so much. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Let's see. PC Geek, oops, Verwin, Sigor, yes. Veriwind, first time live, digging this music. Thanks. Yeah, it's soundtrack that I have on a lot of mine. Well, it's handpicked stuff from Stream Beats, which is from Harris Heller. I handpicked and created a playlist out of the ones that I think are the best and put them together. So I appreciate it. Thank you. M the Bomb. Ayo, Tim. Hope you're doing good. I am doing good. Doing pretty good. Weird morning for me this morning. I talked about that a little bit. Just kind of off today. But I've gotten lucky and gotten a bunch of interviews lately. Wow, congratulations. One was actually with Canonical. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So Ubuntu, the owners are maintainers of Ubuntu, amongst other things. Being hopeful about that one, but not sure. Awesome. That sounds sweet. So much work, though, to keep track of interview times, what stages I'm on. Very exciting. Yeah, it is very exciting. And you're right that it is a ton of work, especially if you're interviewing at a lot of places. You know, they'll have the initial phone screening, then they'll have technical interviews, and then they'll bring you on site. Keeping all of that straight. And then on top of that, like if they're sending these invites to your personal email, sometimes that's a little bit harder to track. I mean, if you work in a corporation or an enterprise, it's pretty easy. You know, whatever mail client or webmail client you use, you usually have it open all day, but your personal calendar is a little bit different. So that's always hard to keep track of. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, like if you're using Gmail, the alerts for calendars never pop up on Chrome. That drives me crazy. Anyways, I'm excited for you. That's very exciting. Congratulations. Either way it goes. Like, I think there's a ton to be learned from interviewing in general. Your first one generally will be kind of bad. It just depends what position you're interviewing for. But most of the time, interviews I think are great learning experiences. Even if even if you don't get the job, or even if you're not 100% certain you want the job, it's a great experience to interview at other places. You learn so much about what to do, what not to do, what questions they're going to ask. And then depending on the technical role you're going into, if it is a technical role, you know, what the technical piece of the interview is. A lot of it Some of it can be whiteboarding if you're doing development. Some of it can be and will be coding or solving problems. And then others could just be discussions around how you handle certain scenarios. So all good, all good. It's very nerve-wracking to interview at different places, but it's also great to see how people conduct their interviews because it's always changing. It's always changing. So yeah, awesome. Vera Wind, it's the stream beats our hair as hell. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Any topic today? Alec Singh, I got to get your name. I'm going to go with Alec English. Alec. I'm just going to go with Alec. Any topic today? Well, topics usually are wide open. A lot of the times they kind of gravitate towards things that I've released recently. I didn't release anything, obviously, this morning. I do have something coming soon, just couldn't squeeze it in, and I didn't want to, the quality of this next one to suffer just to get it out today, but will be soon for sure. So topics are wide open. It's really whatever you want to talk about, whatever the community wants to talk about. That's how I run this channel, is because I learned very early on that people want to talk to other people about things and want to discuss things that they're interested in and talk to people and talk about things that they generally can't talk to people about in real life. And I want to make this a little more interactive than just, hey, I'm going to have an open discussion. I keep that generally for, or I want to, talk about a specific topic. I generally keep that for YouTube. My VOD content is here. I'm going to talk at you. This one, I'm going to talk with you. So Twitch is talk with you. YouTube's talk at you. Even though I try not to talk at you too much. Hopefully it doesn't feel like that. Jorson, tier 1 sub. Oh, gifted. Oh, thank you. Gifted. So M's the bomb. Enjoy your gifted sub from Jorson. Gifted a tier 1 sub to M the bomb. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, awesome. M the bomb. Right now, I'm working on tinkering with Python to make a simple Pomodoro time in a GUI. Everything I've been interviewing for is asking about my Python, trying to keep it sharp. Yeah. So you are going for a software development position. Yeah, for sure. Keep it sharp. Know your data structures. Know how to manipulate data structures. Know how to walk trees. Those kind of things are generally what it seems like most companies are going to ask you. Just how to basically get data out and enumerate data, and how to walk up and down data for certain data types. Seems like that's a majority of what software development is. Unless you're going primarily front end, that's a majority of what you're doing a lot of the times, it seems, for software development. Well, I should say enterprise software development. Or really anywhere. Any data store, it's going to have, data in a certain structure. When you pull it out there, it could be in any structure that you ask for, depending on how it's configured. And then you need to extract that data or update that data and send it back. I mean, that's development in a nutshell. Data. Mr. Jobot, I'm still deep in AWS, containerization, ECS, and Fargate specifically. Awesome. You talked about that. I think it was so now my weeks are off. I don't know if that was on a Saturday or if that was Sunday of last week. But awesome. AWS and containerization. I haven't done anything with Fargate. I've heard about it, and that's about as far as it goes. It sounds pretty awesome. Hopefully it's going well for you. Containerizing stuff in AWS. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's awesome. Alec, I'm working on Kubernetes on local laptop for web development using Debian 10 localhost. Nice. Wow, that's awesome. So you're spinning up Kubernetes locally to do web development. That's really awesome. I've had quite a few people ask me lately about spinning up Minikube or even using K3s for developers to actually spin up their environment locally, get a minimum running environment locally that they can use to develop against. And I think that sounds awesome. That's pretty advanced. So that's pretty sweet. I don't even do that. I develop my code locally and deploy it to, some lower environment and kind of test it there. I do spin up, I wouldn't say cheat, but I do a lot of port forwarding with kube control to some QA services to get around that. But a lot of people don't have port forwarding open up on their Kubernetes cluster or even allow that. So that's really awesome. So what web app? Curious. What are you developing? Let me know. Captain Tidbit, trying to find inspiration for a personal site I'm working on. Photo heavy, but everything I'm finding is mocking Instagram. Any good places for inspiration? That depends. So if you're looking for like UI or UX inspiration, there are a couple places. One is just Pinterest in general. If you just search Pinterest for like UX, UX is an acronym for user experience. There are so many great, pins or collections to be inspired by on Pinterest. Figma is another one. So Figma is a UX and designer tool that's used by large teams, large companies, even small teams, small companies, used by developers and designers, and they have a community around that too. But most of the time when I get inspired, I'll just Google like modern UX or UX, look for it on Pinterest, and Pinterest is just endless scrolling of pictures to get inspired by, and then you can collect them and find them. That's just inspiration for design. It doesn't mean, unless you're going to implement that design and build it, sounds like maybe you are, which is awesome. That's generally what I do. But like I said, Figma has a really big community too. But those are the two I usually look at. Or I forget. There's also another blog that I look at too. I forget because it's bookmarked. But if you ping me in Discord, I'll send you the blog. It's really just it's someone else's collection of inspiring user designs and user experiences. So sounds fun. You're going to build it from scratch too. I like this. But yeah, Instagram kind of sort of is, what people go to when they think of scrolling through images, Instagram-ish type site. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you decide on. And if you're going to build it from scratch, or you're going to use a framework, you're going to use what tooling are you going to use? Let me know. No. I'm sorry. It's so hard to pronounce. I'm going to go with Nuai-Fi. That's what I'm going to go with. It's probably so bad, the pronunciation. Name's great. Wish I could pronounce it. Thanks for following. Appreciate it. Welcome. How are you doing? Mafni. Here we go. Alec. How far along, Mr. Jobot? So that's about AWS. Okay. Mafni, I swapped tires on my bike today. To spike ones. Oh, right. So you must live in the north too then, preparing for this winter and the snow that's coming. And you ride your bike in the wintertime. Much respect to that. I know a few people that do, and they get the big like fat boy tires on and everything, and it's pretty crazy. It's pretty awesome too. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Takano, I decided to use one spare Intel Core 2 Duo machines that has 8 gigabytes of RAM as a Proxmox machine and add it to the cluster. I'm now running code server on it. Nice, man. Nice. How are you doing, Takano? So you're using a spare Intel Core 2 Duo machine that has 8 gig of RAM. Nice. For Proxmox. So you're doing some virtualization on Proxmox. And then in there, you added either a container or just spun up a virtual machine with code server running on it. Nice, man. I saw your rack too in Discord. Looking pretty nice, man. Looking nice and clean. I remember way back when you joined the channel for the first time, you told me you were painting your rack white. So when I saw a white rack in your Discord picture, I was like, yeah, that's so awesome. Anyways, pretty awesome, man. How are you? Mr. Jobot, Alec, what are you using that? Oh, you guys are, I love it. You guys are figuring this out. Okay, peanut baking. I'm new to learning coding and just starting to learn Python. Awesome. Yeah, Python is so awesome. It's so ubiquitous now. It's crazy how much it's grown and how big it is. I honestly think this is something that has the potential to replace something as big as Java. Even though Java's huge and runs everywhere, I feel like people are now solving a lot of those Java problems with Python now too, and a lot of other problems, a lot of new problems, because it's such a functional and lightweight language, or scripting language, I should say. But awesome. How's it going? You like it? Let's see. Spikes on a bike. Oh yeah, spikes on a bike. Takano, still need a good domain name idea. Something is 2,700 plus 12 a year. I'm betting Takano.com. I don't know. I'm guessing. Find a dot something else, not a different top level, and see if you can save some money there. I have a feeling every time you search those domain name query services to look for domain names, they buy them up depending on how many people are searching for it. But good luck on that. It's hard picking a domain. I feel bad for people now who are trying to buy domains, or even like in 10 or 20 years. I mean, I get it that, people will make up words or company names, new company names will start to exist, but man, it's hard. Even for like usernames on Twitter and Instagram or whatever, it's crazy to think about. Like, we had this wave of people over the last 20 years grab all these usernames, and presumably it'll go on for a really long time, and someone in 50 years will never be able to grab like even their first, middle, and last name, it seems like. We'll see. Let's see. Okay, Takano, my username and .com. I knew it. Yes. Site is just parked in it by the looks of it. Yeah, I bet. I'm parking on it. That'll be $2,700, Takano. No, kidding. Let's see, Mafni, I don't have a death wish, so yeah. And I also don't want to walk. Yeah. Peanut taking. What are you building, Techno Tim? What am I building? What was I doing this morning? So this morning I talked about it a little bit, but I've been building out my new data center or server room. That's kind of, I don't want to say done, but it's to a good stopping point before I make some other major changes. So I've just been tweaking stuff in there. Totally not even tech related. We've been refinishing this porch that's right outside there. It's actually a second level porch that looks over our backyard. It's pretty cool. Lots of windows. So we've been working on that. And then this morning, a lot of maintenance. Saturday and Sunday mornings are usually maintenance for stuff. Get caught up on GitHub, accept pull requests, code reviews, patching servers, deploying updated containers. So a lot of maintenance for me is usually Saturday morning, because I get up and I just kind of want some quiet time. And during my quiet time, I usually patch a lot of stuff. And then, so I do have a couple things coming that I've been working on. I'm not going to go too deep into them. But one is another service, and then one is just changes to my infrastructure in general. So yeah, but nothing, I feel like nothing physical, a lot of virtual building going on. Alec, from the web app, Postgres, converting MS Access tables to CSV, just starting. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that old school. So you're going Microsoft Access tables to CSV, and then I assume Postgres. You're using Postgres to store your database as your database in general. Are you converting Microsoft Access tables to CSVs to then jam that data in Postgres rows? Because that's pretty awesome. Talk about a couple of generations of technology leaps there. That's pretty awesome. Penguin Airlines, dude, how you doing? Penguin Airlines has resubbed tier 1 7 months. How's it going, man? Good to see you. Bebop inserted excited resub message here. Hey, how's it going? Dude, how are you? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Let's see. Okay, Manny, hey all, how's it going? Takano, what is the name scheme you guys have for your domains? Just kind of curious. Anythingyoucan.com. And then you kind of fall back to whatever else. That's at least with me. I pick a name and go for .com. You can't get .com, then you're off trying to get either .us or not .io. I mean, those are expensive. For some reason, .ios are like $50, $60. I mean, relatively expensive compared to other ones. Yeah, then it's something else that's not as popular. I mean, that's generally what I go for. Verwind, tried out UDM Pro. Support basically said it'll be fixed in the future. Wait for a firmware patch. Tried out UDM Pro. Support basically said it'll be fixed in the future. Wait for a firmware patch. The whole thing? Yeah, I hope so. Verwind, yeah. So, yeah, I had lots of problems last week, and it was I think I figured it out. Well, I figured it out on my own, only then to find out later that I think UDM Pro or Unify, they basically had this GeoIP filtering service built into their UDM Pros, or a lot of their Unify devices, that you can geofilter on the edge on your firewall. And I guess what I read from the forums is they had a bad update go out to their database, which ended up blocking internal traffic, which was the worst ever. They since turned it off or rolled it back, and it hasn't been a problem. I just so happened to get that database update and freak out, but it seems like they had it on for a while, because I did a restore on my machine, my UDM Pro, 10, 15 times. And so anyways, according to their support forums, they had a geofiltering database update go out that was bad. I assume by bad they mean they added probably private subnets in there, which is exactly what I was seeing. Like everything was being blocked everywhere, which was the worst ever for me because I had no idea what was going on. And I think that's what it is. The sad thing is that they update that database even if you have geofiltering turned off. I mean, some people might say, well, who cares if I don't have it turned on, whatever. But it's kind of sad that when you have geofiltering turned off, it's kind of sad that you just can't disable the updates of the database. I mean, arguably, why even have the service on if you can disable the updates? Because what good is that? But it was interesting that they don't give you any kind of toggle to disable that too. So I don't know. I was pretty mad at my device last week, but all is good. Still, I feel like there's still like some trembling going on or like aftershock from that in my whole entire network. Anytime something goes wrong, like even this morning, when I was moving patch cables, I plugged my Raspberry Pi into the one that went into my Flex mini switch, and nothing was working, and it said pending adoption. I was like, oh gosh, here we go again. What is going on? And it turned out bonehead move by me. When I labeled my patch cables before I switched them around, PI for pi looked like 16 upside down. So I didn't look at it properly and I crisscrossed them. Anyways, so I don't know. Kind of a pain in the butt. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Skivian. I need to say this right. I'm trying to create my own kube cluster using your videos. Nice. Kubernetes cluster. It's pretty easy to get spun up. So there's an easy way to get going. It's K3S if you're going to use Kubernetes. K3S is my choice for Kubernetes in general. And it's real easy to spin up. I think the complicated stuff comes after that. And actually, yeah. So the complicated stuff starts as soon as you get it going. I'll tell you where the landmines are for spinning up a new Kubernetes cluster. It's going to be, after you get things working, it's going to be networking, like your load balancer, and then it's going to be also storage, persistent volumes. Because if you're doing a single node cluster, it's super easy. A single node cluster, I can write to the disk that it's on, and I can route directly to that node that it's on, like no problem. That's kind of cheating a little bit because a lot of people want to run Kubernetes and they want to scale. They want multiple nodes in their cluster, and that's where it starts to get complicated. Then you need to figure out, what are you going to use for a load balancer? How are you going to expose that traffic? And then how are you going to write to storage if you need to persist stuff? If you have stateful applications that need to write stuff to local disk, that's where it starts to get complicated. But don't get worried. I don't mean to scare you. Not trying to scare you. Just saying, when you run into this stuff, like just take it easy, take a breath, and it'll be okay. But let me know if you have problems with that, because I've done a little bit of Kubernetes myself, especially with Rancher, especially with K3S. I know where a lot of the landmines are, for sure. Rise Mike. Hi, Tim. Just discovered your channel. Big fan. Thanks, Rise Mike. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Awesome that you made it all the way from YouTube over here. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Veriwind. Threw it back at him and bought an old Qualys router, 8-core overkill, but only $100. So I put pfSense on it. All right. A huge fan of pfSense here. Don't think because I don't use pfSense right now that I'm not a huge fan of it, or I left it because something was wrong. No, nothing was wrong because it was pretty fantastic, and I used it for many, many years. But awesome, good for you. Good for you. If you bought something and it doesn't meet your expectations, and you pay a lot of money for it, and they make a lot of promises, like a lot of Unify stuff, and you're not satisfied, give it back. 100%. I 100% support that. Because there's a premium on that gear, and like with anything you buy, there's a certain expectation you have for things you buy, and if it doesn't meet those, you're absolutely welcome to send it back and do something else for sure. But good for you, because that's I think they listen to those things, or if things get returned. I mean, they don't listen to their forums. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't dog on them, because it seems they have a lot going on. I'll say that, but that's no excuse, and I'm not making excuses for them. But I think a returning a product is a good signal for something's not right. Haywood Floyd, 2001, unified controller behind traffic and SSL, exclamation point. Yeah, I've have I done it? Yeah, I've done it because I used to have unified controller running in Docker. I don't think I had traffic and SSL in front of it then, because that was about a year and a half ago, I think. So I haven't done it. Sounds awesome. Hopefully all your devices can communicate. They should, because they're going to communicate over some other port. But you'll access the web piece over SSL. So pretty awesome. Yeah. I miss running that unified controller just in my container. I mean, it runs on the device now, but it was good old times. And when I first bought my access point, maybe it's the nostalgia, and I was like, I'm not going to install this on my machine. I'm going to go Docker. And that's when I started really, really piling on with a lot of Docker stuff. Was right when I bought my first access point a couple years ago. Blockbog. Well, Blockbog. I got to get this right. I can't talk today. Blockbog on it networks. That's what I'm going with. Hey, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Let's see. Skivian. But I'm having problems with the kube nodes. Let me know what the problems are. Little Muggy here today, PC Geek. Oh, that's too bad. It's nice and cool here today. I think the high is like 50, which I'm ecstatic about. I mean, I have a sweatshirt on today, so it's nice and cool. If I'm wearing something like this, it's pretty cool, because generally I'm a t-shirt until I can't anymore. Could I send you my error to check if you know what's happening? Skivian. I'm gonna go with Skivian. That's easier for me to say, and it kind of makes more sense. Sure. Yeah, I doubt you can post it here, because the bots will get angry, because if you have a dot in it, it's going to think it's a website. But join our Discord server. I can take a peek at it later on too. Just let me know like what you're doing and what the problems are, and I can take a look later on. Takano, a huge wedding party where I was a groomsman, super fancy and nice, man. Yeah, weddings are always fun. I think most of you will go through this phase where all your friends or you are getting married, and it seems like you're just going to weddings after wedding after wedding. I know that was the case with me years ago. Over summers, I was like, there's a wedding every weekend. Super fun. It's super fun. Weddings are always fun. It's just like a big family and friend reunion, depending on how close you are with the people getting married. It's definitely a super good time for sure. Nusagi. Employee, I like it. Hi, today I've managed to use Organizer Auth for file browser and Calibre Web. Nice, yeah, good collection there. Organizer, file browser, and Calibre Web. Nice, so you have a dashboard, a file browser, and you're able to create documents on the web. Super awesome. Close, that's when I'm going. What's up, Tim? Hey, not much. It's Saturday. I'm super pumped about it being Saturday. And break from work. Not that I don't enjoy work, but it's always nice to just do something different. I always look forward to Saturdays, because it just means, hey, just got done with the week. Don't have anything to do today normally, and I don't have anything to do tomorrow. I mean, work-wise. So pretty awesome. Matthew, weather is starting to become icy. Oh, not here yet. Keep that away. We're holding out here in Minnesota. Dale Kurt, hey, how's it going? Good to see your name again. Finally bought myself the UDM Pro and a PoE switch. Hey, congratulations. Ignore everything I just said about it, all the problems I've had. It's atypical. It really is. I dogged on them a little bit only because of the problems I had, but honestly speaking, at least for me, like it works so fantastic. Minus one weekend, if I could have, those 18 hours of my life back, that would be great. But other than that, like I think it's fantastic. So it's a different paradigm than what you're used to, especially for DHCP reservations and stuff like that. But for me, being able to manage and click deploy VLANs and networks from one console is so fantastic. Hey, Block Bogon Networks. I got to get this right. Block Bogon. Why can I not say that? Block Bogon. Blockbogon. That's what I'm going to say. Hey, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. Tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Mr. Jobot, I'm studying for my CKA exam, so Kubernetes from scratch has been a good resource. Yeah, that is. Kubernetes from scratch. Sounds like the Kubernetes the hard way document. So Kubernetes from scratch. So you're just totally just spinning it up like apt-get install Kubernetes, or how are you getting it? Or do you mean just configuring it from scratch, which is what I do, which is pretty awesome. Awesome though. So you're studying for your CKA, so Certified Kubernetes Administrator. Congratulations. That sounds awesome and scary at the same time. I'd probably fail that. I'm sure it's hard, but it sounds awesome, and what an exciting space to be in right now. For sure. Alec, for the web app, using a startup since last November, good traction, July, August, check out Buddhabase. For the web app, using a startup since, nice. Good traction, July, August, check out Buddhabase. I don't know anything about Buddybase. Buddybase. That's what I'm going with. I'll have to check it out. Dale Kurt, a bit of a disappointment in the UDM Pro. Yeah, I know. Especially they released the SE, the second edition now, which I've seen. It was in EA. It's funny because it's like in EA, but then they have a YouTube video about it, and it's some people have already received it. I've seen in the Discord channel, which is pretty awesome, or the Discord server. But it's like, man, the SE should have been everything the first edition was. I get it. Like, it's an incremental upgrade, but, 2.5 gigabit networking, pretty awesome. Not that I have any adapters that can connect that way. But then having PoE built in is pretty awesome. And that I feel like should have been there in the beginning. I know they probably cut it to keep costs out, but if they want to sell cameras, which they probably do too, PoE ports would have been a great way to sell cameras. If you say, hey, your UDM Pro has this thing called Unify Protect in it, and by the way, we sell cameras, and all you got to do is plug them into here. Yeah, it's a good way to sell cameras. If you could even buy cameras. They've been sold out for like 6 months of every camera possible, and I don't know if it's a production issue that they're having, probably, like everyone, or if it's a hint of they're working on V4s of a couple of their V3s, which I think is also the case. Their Flex Minis or their Flexes, I have a feeling, are going to be 4 soon. Not just because they're sold out, just they've been around for a while. And I think with 4s in general, then you start to get on-device smart detection, which is what I want. Anyways, I geek out about their stuff, Dill. Like I said earlier, I was dogging them, but I geek out about their stuff. I'm probably one of the few people that go to their YouTube channel and just watch their commercials because they're so awesome. I mean, that's what they are. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. When they announce their product releases, they're just big commercials. But for some reason, I just totally geek out on them, and I'm just like, wow, that was awesome. Anyways, Rob Sierra, I'm having a terrible time with names today, and even talking. I've been looking at your videos today. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let me know if I can help with anything. Most of them are mediocre at best and really rough around the edges, but hopefully you get something out of them. If you run into something, let me know. Mr. Jobot, what resources are you using for a CKA certification? Great question. I'm curious about that too. And what does it cover? Because like I said, super interesting space to be in right now, Kubernetes in general, and being a certified administrator for Kubernetes just puts you at the top of the stack, and makes you more desirable as a Kubernetes operator, which I think is pretty awesome. I haven't looked at it. Like I said, I'd probably fail that test for sure. Pedro Pets, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. What's the good temp? Dang, LOL. That's a good temp. Dang, LOL. Verwin. Oh, for my server room? Yeah, it's in the basement. Basement's mostly unfinished. Like I said, it's cooler out here today, so it's about 50. I can look at my watch. 60. Well, I just gained 10 degrees by looking at my watch. Maybe I don't need this sweatshirt. 60 degrees outside today. Basement's always usually a little cooler. I put a window in there, so I have the vent open. 72 ambient temps in there. Pretty good. Not bad at all. During the summertime, towards the end of the summer, it started getting pretty warm down there. And that was before I had the window. So I have this winter to see what the ambient temps will be with, a Minnesota winter with servers running. There will be a new normal for that. And then I have a lot of time, I feel like, to prepare for what summer is with those servers in that room to adjust. I don't know. I've been looking into smart fans and doing some cool stuff based on temperature. Half the reason why I wired up that temperature gauge wasn't for my Raspberry Pi LED back there, even though it's cool. I think it's awesome. It's mainly so I can react to it with fans, with temperatures, with stuff too. But I want to do something cool like, hey, if it's too warm in here and it's warmer in the opposite room, take that warm air out, put it in the rest of the basement. But vice versa, if it's warmer or too warm on the outside of that room than it is on the inside, throw that air outside. So I want to do some cool stuff, some smart stuff on just basically heat management. Where do I place this heat? Do I dump it inside? Do I dump it outside? Based on temperature outside, temperature inside, and temperature in that room. So anyways, I have a lot of ideas. Haven't done any of them yet. Wired up my LED, priorities. Let's see, Mr. Jobot, a lot of YouTube, and I haven't, and I have a subscription to something. Tech World with Nana has just released a course. Yeah, she has fantastic documentation on Kubernetes. I mean, her videos are like an hour and a half long, and I just watch them. I'm just like, man, these are fantastic. But awesome. She released a course that's super awesome. I'll have to check it out. Included Noel, hail, and well met. How's it going? Dale Kurt, Code Cloud is what I used. Passed it. Congratulations. Awesome. Jorgensen. I used your YouTube video before I do anything on Linux. I do this first on the regular. So have some bits. Thank you so much, Jorgensen. Hey, glad to help. Yeah, those are things that exactly what the title's called. Those are usually things I do when I do anything on Linux on a brand new machine. I have since created Ansible playbooks for all of those things. So if you haven't tried out Ansible, I have a very simple intro, like super high level. Hey, let's convert everything I did manually to Ansible playbooks. And those are what I use now. And now I actually bake some of those things into my image, not all of them. But I do run those playbooks for new machines that come on to my network. And then I maintain them with Ansible 2 with updates. So yeah, pretty awesome. Thank you. And I appreciate the bits. Thank you. Mr. Joba, oh yeah, Code Cloud is good too. Got to check it out. Swipe with cursor. Verowin, swipe with cursor. PC Geek, it was me. Let's see. Takano. I'm sorry. For some reason, I always jump over this when I see my bot speaking, which I need to change, by the way. My secure gift. I am writing a replacement for my Unify controller. Whoa! Now that's awesome. That sounds like a ton of work. And you'll have to show me screenshots because I'm super curious now. My interest is totally piqued. That sounds like a ton of work. And maybe you just mean the metrics and monitoring piece, which is still, don't get me wrong, that is a huge feat to scrape that data or query unified controller to get that data and then paint that on the screen. That is a lot of work. So hats off to you, my secure gift. You have to show me screenshots or tell me what you're thinking about. Chicano, also kind of curious, what certs do you recommend for a high school student wanting to get in the world of full stack development or networking? Unsure yet, but those are the ones that have the most interest towards. Chicano, yeah, good question. For me personally, I learn by doing. I've done a lot of different things in my IT career. I've done everything from tech support to system administrator to you name it. I've done all kinds of stuff. I'm a software engineer now, software developer. And so I didn't track down or chase down a ton of certs. Don't get me wrong, they're fantastic and they give you an edge when interviewing. But I never went after them. I didn't go after the actual certification. I went after just learning a new technology and playing with it at home like I do all day long, and I do in my home lab. So what are some good ones if you want to get into development? Well, I think people earlier were talking about Python. Python's a great language to learn because it spans the gamut of every single technology you could possibly do. Python's a good one. JavaScript's another good one because JavaScript can run anywhere, JavaScript or TypeScript. It can run front end, back end, middle tier, wherever. But with those languages, just software development in general, there aren't a ton of certifications that people go after. It's more of just honing your skill and making it better and doing something with it. Most of the time, it's doing something with it to show off and open source. Make something open source, show it off, have a GitHub repo where you maintain some code. That's typically what I see people going after. Anytime I've been in a position to where I've been able to interview someone, that's usually what people point me to too during the interview. They say, hey, I maintain this app, I maintain this website or this service, it's open source, you can go ahead and take a look at it. And I generally find those things really interesting and really inspiring too. So that's on the software development side. I'm probably not a good resource to ask for, what certifications I've gone for, because a lot of it is just doing and learning and building and showing my work in public. But when it gets into networking, there are other things. But a lot of I'm totally just lumping all of this into one. But a lot of certifications are geared towards certain technologies or certain companies, like CCNA, Certified Cisco Network Administrator, like. Hey, that's Cisco networking equipment. There are more general certifications that you could go for. I'm sure a lot of people here in the channel today could probably speak towards those a lot more intelligently than I can. But I would try to keep it generic. Unless you're excited about a technology, you want to go into a specific technology that a company owns. Anyways, to kind of a great question. I'll let everyone else answer that too. I've talked about it kind of high level. Hopefully that answers some of your questions. If you're thinking about software development, though, I would say you just got to do it. I know it's scary, and I know it's scary to commit code in public, but you got to do it. You got to do it. And no matter, what, I've committed so much bad code in my life, but, the only way it's going to get any better is, one, by having people who are better than you review it and look at it and give you pointers, or two, just, iterating on it over time and making it better. Hey, SweetTech, 500 bits. Dude, thank you so much, SweetTech, 500 bits. Thank you for guiding me with my first step in Kubernetes world. Great content. Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the bits. Appreciate it. Thanks for making my lights flash, and they're not stopping either. See, Takano, you don't want to write code like that, because when you write code like that, that's my code that's doing that right now. I know why it's happening. It's not code. I'm not going to blame I'll blame it on the hardware. It kind of is the hardware, the way that these broad link things work. Anyways, good example of code not to write. I totally did that, but it should work itself out the next time someone changes the lights. Change the lights. Anyways, Sad Squirrel, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Batfink, I think I missed that one. Thanks for changing the lights. Should? Maybe? Oh, maybe? Oh, come on. Yeah, see? I know the code, but I understand why it does that. But I know my code that I wrote that will actually reset the flash. Actually, it changes. So my code, the way it works when you change the lights, one, it changes all of the Philips Hue lights, and then it emits infrared over this Broadlink little controller to RGB light that uses this remote. That's only infrared, and so I have to write the code. And when you do something like this, it's basically like, it's not UDP, but it's kind of like UDP. You don't get any acknowledgement. So you just fire off these commands, and you hope the infrared hits the sensor. So when I do it, I fire off the command 2-3 times, because I'm like, I have no idea if, there's no acknowledgement that this thing changed. So I'm just like pink, 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 blue, 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 just, and I have two lights back there, and my sensor's right in the middle. And I just have a feeling like the light is not bouncing in the right spot. Anyways, but yeah, thanks for changing the lights. Appreciate it, because that will reset it. Well, again, I could run into the same problem where the infrared doesn't hit the sensor, but generally it does. But SweetTech, thanks so much for the bits. Appreciate it. Rob Sierra, have you ever ran a full VM in Docker Kubernetes via Rancher? Have I ever ran a full VM Oh no, I haven't. No, and that's kind of some new hotness too, some bleeding edge stuff. So being able to basically virtualize, run a virtual machine inside of Kubernetes, I have not. I have not. The closest I've got is WebTops. That's not technical yet. I have run distributions inside of Kubernetes. I don't know if that counts. Maybe that counts. But I mean, not a virtual machine per se, but you could spin up an Ubuntu distribution inside of Kubernetes, which then gives you Ubuntu within a container that may or may not be running on Ubuntu in the node. So I have done some stuff like that, but not full-blown distribution. Like, hey, it sounds awesome. Sounds awesome. And I've seen a lot of projects out there that are kind of doing it. I haven't done it yet, but it sounds awesome. Sounds like a fun time. Have you? Alec English 91. I got it. Thank you so much. Mr. Jobot, Takano, my advice would be to choose dev or ops and focus on one. Yeah. Or why not both? DevOps, right? The line in between developer and operations. I'm playing words, but it's kind of what it is, where you do write a lot of code, but you're still operations focused. But yeah, I like it. Takano, learn Python or Go. Yeah, great suggestion. Yeah, Python, obviously. Go, another great suggestion for a language. Super low level, not as low level as C++, more guardrails, but super performant and all the hype. And it's worth it because how performant it is. If you like coding for dev, then if you like coding, go for dev. If you like making things work, go for ops. I like this. This is great. Ops, you can get by with bash. Dev, you need to know proper coding. Yeah. That's good, great outlook or great perspective. Because in operations, you'll be doing a ton of shell scripting, probably some code too, but more scripting, a lot of bash. Yeah, great insight. Dale Kerr, Mr. Jobot, LOL, that's me. But learning Python and Golang now to be better. Awesome. Yeah, congratulations, you guys. Kozef Cali, thanks for follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. Included null, I've been fighting the AMD Mesa drivers on Pop! OS with the 5500 XT. Oh man, I'm sorry. Drivers in general, especially video drivers, video and sound are the two on Linux that just drive me crazy sometimes. And it's probably not Linux's fault, but they get blamed for it. So I hope you figure it out. AMD generally though should be is generally more supported or better supported, I should say, on Linux for sure. Alec, Mr. Jobot, check out Budabase and you will reconsider the need for coding. Whoa, he's dropping bombs in here. I'll have to check it out. There's a lot of no-code solutions out there, but you'll be laughed out by a dev role with programming skills. No, I wasn't laughing, but yeah, I mean, I do see how there is definitely a space growing for people who want to be able to build systems and integrate systems without writing lots of code. I mean, that's been the promise for a long time. It's, Microsoft did it way back with, Visual Basic and stuff like that. And, and giving you WYSIWYG editors to build forms and stuff like that. Like, I think there will always be a space for that for sure. And it's great to use those types of tools for prototyping too. And who knows? I mean, it might be great to use all the way out to production and build a business on top of it. I'm not scoffing at those because a lot of things were done on a lot of those technologies. But man, I for some reason, me and those tools don't always get along. I shouldn't say that we don't, but not always. Just because they're so hard to debug, and then you're learning someone's tool. I'm not putting down what you're talking about or this idea. But going in and going all in with just a company and a company's tool sometimes can get you in a weird spot in the future if that company and that company's tool isn't around anymore. But I mean, I've been there plenty of times, and that's when I was just like, okay, instead of using people's tools, I'll write my tools. They'll be poor and full of bugs, but at least I know that I can debug this thing and deploy this thing and I own this thing. Not that I need control over something, but if something goes wrong, I have the capability to fix it myself. So, but yeah, sounds awesome. So I promise that I'm not on the soapbox right now because I've used a ton of those tools. Let's see. Included, no. I have no experience with interviews. I landed my current dev job of 4 years by being acquired. Nice. So I'm scared of losing the job since I've never had a dev job interview before. Yeah. That's totally, that's valid. 100% valid concern. I have that fear. I mean, I've interviewed at places and it's gone poorly at really big companies and embarrassed myself. It just depends, and then other jobs that I've been offered and had opportunities, it was no code. And it was more just like, hey, we believe in you. We know you'll figure it out based on stuff you've done in the past. And, no code, no technical. So it kind of goes both ways. But I hear you. I think about that all the time, too. I've been pretty fortunate. The last couple companies that I've worked at believed in me and knew me ahead of time. And so it was just pretty easy. They're just like, okay, well, we like you as a person and we know what you've done in the past. I'm sure you'll do fine here. But if I ever got in a position like that too, I would be scared. I mean, I don't even know what to expect anymore. Like I said, I've interviewed at a big company before and it went poorly. It went very bad. I'm not going to lie or sugarcoat it. It went very bad and I probably wasted all of their time, but I had zero experience doing that before. Like that was my first technical interview where you're whiteboarding or writing pseudocode on a whiteboard and walking trees. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so not prepared. Even though I read all the crash courses and studied, nothing prepares you like actually doing it. So included, no, I've been there and it is scary. Tracks or DNB? Random question. I'm looking to consolidate my separate systems, TrueNAS, XCPNG, Hypervisor, Windows 10 server, in server racks. Thinking about doing a StarTech StarTech 4-post 15U rack with Roswell RSV R variants. Do you have any experience with the mentioned brands or models? Yes, I have. So I've done a lot of consolidation. Something's on fire. Hopefully the neighbor's having a bonfire because, man, maybe my house is on fire. It's probably not on fire, but whoo. Anyways, so I do have some experience with that. Yes. So I have a 18U, 19U, a weird U rack. I don't know that it's StarTech, but same idea. 4-post rack. I did convert some PCs over to it. Not Roswell, but did something else. Chenbro. And converted PCs over to it, added those to my rack, and converted them over. It was fantastic, and it's great, and I still have one there. Mr. Jobot, thanks for the bits. Appreciate it. Is it your lights, Tim? Check the code. Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. See, now that didn't even fire for whatever reason. So, yeah, that's probably my code. No firing at all, 100% my code. Well, it could be Twitch too, but for the most part, it's probably my code. I'll check the logs after, because this is all running Kubernetes. So I'll just look at the logs and see what's going on. Hopefully there's no errors. If there's no errors, then not me. Anyways, thank you for the bits. Appreciate it. So what I was saying, yep, ton of experience with it. Not a ton, but I've done it myself. 4-post rack. I've racked existing older enterprise servers in there. Worked great. I've bought third-party rail kits that are more like shelves, put them in there, racked UPSs in my own server rack. Works great. I got a 19-post because it was just the right size. Comes to about my hip. I'm pretty tall, but it comes to about my hip. And it works great. I've then torn down and consolidated servers, switched over to 1U servers from 2U servers, and that's still working great. I converted an old PC to a 2U server 2 PCs ago. Not this one, but the one before that I was using to run some other stuff. Converted to, just like the Roswell case, the Chenbro case, put it in there, and it's all working great. So I mentioned some brands and models. I mean, but your StarTech is fantastic. I don't think I brought that brand, but totally works. Roswell, again, fantastic. I got Chenbro, but the same idea, same kind of parts. I mean, the quality might be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, you're going to get the same thing. And I probably have links somewhere. If you go to my Amazon store page or kit.co, you'll see the exact ones I use. If you go kit.co/technotim, you'll see all of my kits of just whatever I use, like all of my server racks, all of my photography gear, all of my recording gear, my gaming gear. So I have it all there, even my chargers, everything I use, because people usually ask me, what do you use? And I scramble to say, oh, I use this thing, and I go through my Amazon history, and I'm like, here it is. Well, now I put it all on one page. So if you're curious, like all those things have worked out for me pretty well. And you can see that in a lot of my videos, and one coming up too. Alec, my first Twitch, unfortunately, got a jet soon to take the kid to a job. Will review after my ride. Electrical engineer grad, Yukon 91. Good guess. Nice, nice. I was so off. I thought your name was Alec, that you spoke English, and you were born in 91. So I was way off, way off. But thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. M's the bomb, Jorson. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the gifted sub. Yeah, you get Sudo now. Sudo and run his administration. Yeah. WM Smackay. I'm going with that. I'm on the home stretch of setting up my K3S HA cluster with MetaLB and traffic. You are on the home stretch. After that, everything gets awesome. It's awesome in the beginning. There be dragons in the middle, and then it's really awesome at the end. So you're getting close. So. But had a lot of problems until I found a secret post on your blog about how to do it with an HA cluster. Nice. Nice. Secret post. I should make that more public. Well, awesome. I'm glad you figured it out. Like I said, the beginning K3 is awesome. Yes, I have nodes. Yes, I can do kube control commands. I have so many nodes. What do I want to do now? I want to add all these services, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I need networking. I need a load balancer. I need certificates, and I need storage. And then it gets really hard. And if you get through that really, really hard stuff, it's so rewarding at the end, because adding a new service is as easy as just a kube control deploy, or if you're using Rancher, use the UI, or if you're using Portainer, use the UI, deploy that service, and you got certs, and you got routing, and you got everything. So adding stuff later on, it's super simple to do. So yeah, awesome. Pedro Pets, thanks so much. YouTube videos. Hey, yeah, open my eyes to a new world. Awesome. It's a deep, dark tunnel, rabbit hole of building out your home lab, as well as self-hosting services. Those are two things I've enjoyed for years. And one day I was like, well, I'm gonna try that on YouTube and just share tutorials on how to do things, because people ask me how to do things, and a lot of times, you know, I said it best last time, or I've documented it somewhere. And that's kind of how my YouTube journey started, was just sharing it with people who say, what do you do for, NAS, and how do you set that up? That's kind of how I got started. Takano, would be cool to see a video comparing the different position you can get in a quick summary, if that's a potential video idea. All right. I like it. Maybe in a post somewhere or something. Yeah, I like it. Thanks, dude. PC Geek, I started up Docker Swarm to see how it works. Yeah, Docker Swarm, I don't talk enough about it. I haven't used it a ton, but super easy, super lightweight, super easy to get started to cluster services, for sure. Trevor, sup. I was Droid Lover. I changed my name. Trevor Ace. Oh, man, a lot of A's. I like it. Well, Droid Lover. Now I can't say Droid Razor Lover. That's okay. You can change your name. So Trevor, I got to remember, Trevor is now Droid, or was Droid Razor Lover. Alec. I'm going with Alec. Currently more of an ops guy at work, but cutting my teeth on MS-DOS, I'm pressed for a quick solution to market. As a startup, fast to market, as team of one, open source offers options for sure. Python is quick script, easy to build, share, deliver to a point. Yeah, I agree. Rabbit ear. .xzy usually are cheap, $3. XYZ. Yeah, I like it. $3. I'm gonna go grab Takano.xyz and charge him $4 and make a buck off him. No, I won't. I have to get a common top level domain at a school district, blocks XYZ, and other super cheap ones. So options are com, org, or net. Ooh, you're limited. You're limited to ones that were created in the 80s or 90s, really. Well, probably earlier than that. But Penguin Airlines. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. I am behind, but let's see what Penguin Airlines is up to. Hey, Techno Tim, it's really going well. I've settled into a new house, spinning up Proxmox plus pfSense server based on your great video. Thank you. To get an upgrade off my Edge Router X, and at work I'm building a big low-code integration migration environment out of Node-RED cluster. Nice. SRE life is great. Glad it's fall. Everything is good. Yeah, nice, dude. Congratulations on your new house, new projects at work, building out a new cluster. Yeah, it's awesome. And fall is awesome because it means winter is coming in. Not that I love winter, but now I have more reasons to stay inside. Do more technology stuff because, it's cold out, snowing out. It's all those things out that I don't want to go outside for. I'm kidding. Not really. Included Noel, I need to sit down at some point to figure out how to set up automatic failover properly on MikroTik routers, but I keep putting that off. Yeah, So that would be awesome to know. I don't know the answer. I put off lots of things. There's one thing that I've been putting off that I tried to tackle again this morning when I was in my operations mode and trying to fix and patch and do stuff. There's one backup that I haven't been able to solve yet, and I thought, I'm going to solve this now. I did not solve it. I spent 45 minutes trying to figure it out. I still can't figure out how to. It's basically shuffling data between, TrueNAS and Windows back and forth. And it's not easy nor fun. Maybe I'll post in Discord and get some ideas from you guys in the storage channel. Okay, I know that we're exactly at an hour from when I said an hour. So, a couple of minutes, but that's pretty exact for me for just guessing. I'm going to look through and look for anyone just mentioning me directly just to make sure that I'm following up to you guys. I know I got really behind today, but man, I so many great conversations. I will say though too, as I'm scrolling through here we go. I will say that the conversation doesn't need to end here. We have a Discord channel. If you're not there, I highly encourage you to join. Discord links have been posted in here a couple of times. There's one right here. If you don't see one, there's buttons below, or just do ! Discord and you can join the server there. Penguin Airlines, the business I'm working for now, VAR, reselling SaaS products for about 12 consultants. Nice. I'm building them a low-code platform so they can have more features at lower cost to sell even more integrations and migrations. Definitely a big market out there for low-code, no-code solution. 100% agree. 100% agree. Yeah, Node-RED is a great example of that too, where you can have people who aren't developers build solutions in minimal time. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm definitely not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. There are lots of great solutions out there to help people do things. Low-code solutions, as you say, and even no-code solutions. 100% agree. 100% agree. Don't mean to dog them. That is not what I'm here to do. Because at the end of the day, I mean, if you're a business and you need to move fast, sometimes that's the way to move the fastest. Asking a developer to build a custom application is going to take time. It's going to take time. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Even if you're the world's best developer, it's going to take time. With no or low code solutions, it's instant on. It's a platform that you can start building on top of and experimenting with. So absolutely, for sure. Techno Tim, the 15 to 22U life is his best. Yeah, nice desk height to get set stuff up on the new server, mouse, keyboard, monitor, etc. Now, if I could find a way to cool 20U's worth of office in my gear, I hear you. I might have a half-baked solution. We'll see, and maybe I'll be half-baked after how hot it's getting in my server room. I'm TBD. That's why I said the winter's coming up, so I can keep it cool. So I have about 6 months where I need to figure out what I'll do in the summertime. So. Hey guys, 17, Ticano, all right, the last one, 17.7K channel points. All right, I need to work on that 20K one before you get there. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in today and for taking time out of your Saturday to chat it up with me and with everyone else. I hope you've enjoyed your time. Like I said, we have Discord links everywhere. If you want to continue to chat about other things, tech-related, non-tech-related, absolutely go there. If you had a question, or I know there were a few folks who had errors or things that were more elaborate than what I can answer in Twitch, absolutely post them there, and I'll try to take a look at them. I will be back next Saturday, as long as my UDM Pro hangs in there. And then I should have something out this week. This week. So, sorry. Sunday starts the new week. So next week starts the new week. So anyways, I'll have something out soonish for you on YouTube too. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much for all there were tons of follows, tons of bits, tons of subs, gifted subs. Thank you all so much. Like, I can't thank you enough. I really mean it. It really means a ton to me. But just being here and chatting is more than I could have ever imagined a year ago, that I would have more than one person in here that's not a bot. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll be back, like I said. You guys have a great rest of the weekend. Have a great Saturday or Sunday, and be good to each other. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.